What do you fucking mean, huh? You don't remember me? Huh? You don't remember me? Huh? You remember me? Vinny? From Portishead? You don't fucking remember me? Hey, we fucking brain dead? Huh? You fucking remember me? Yeah, you don't learn? You don't learn? Huh. Hey man, I don't even know what that's all about. I don't even know where I channeled that from. But I welcome you back to my program. I'm peaceful now that I got that out of my system. You know what I'm saying? So, we got a Fender guitar here. Try to run, try to hide. Break off of the bridge inside. Break off of the bridge inside. Break off in. Oh, almost dropped it too. Trying to be funny. Trying to improvise. Anyway, this is kind of like a deja vu episode also. Because the last time we had a Chinese Fender acoustic guitar was the electric one. It had the exact same problem. These tops on these Fender FA series Chinese guitars are crap. Whoa. It's just gonna fall down. I know it. I'm not even gonna make it to the slab, people. That's the kind of day I'm having, man. I'm just getting lower and lower and lower. I'm sinking down into this shit. But I got plenty of stories to tell. A couple jokes, a couple on jokes. Other than that, the bridge is totally like at like a 90-degree angle. Looks like it's pretty good condition. I'll tell you exactly how I got this instrument. I'll tell you how I got it, right? I was at the swap meet. I'm going to show you how it happened in like a reactive way. This is just a dramatization. But these are real people and real events that happen. Over Guitkits. So watch this dramatization. This is what happened. I'm looking for shit at the swap meet. Because some people probably be like, why does he always do that? What's he swapping? What's he needing? What's going on? Hey, it's me walking around looking at the different tables and all the items. Alright? So that's what I was doing. So I was looking around for shit. The first table I came to, I got a guitar for $5. Wasn't this guitar. Second table I came to, I got a guitar for $5. Wasn't this guitar. However, the guy who sold me his guitar was on the table across from that guy, right? And those guitars I got for $5 a piece were like, yeah, I mean, $5 guitar, right? This guitar, it might be a $5 guitar too, but it's a Fender, right? And he had it in a case too. It was in a case that was like two sizes too small for this. It's like a ukulele case. It was a real small case. Couldn't even really close the top. I'll show you. When I flip you around, I'll show you because I value our friendship and I want to have full transparency. Anyway, so like he said, hey buddy. And I sort of like flapped the thing. I was like, ooh. Ooh. He's like, $5. Because he heard me buying another one for $5 for the guy. He's like, I'm really just selling you the case, man. I was like, yeah, it's the $5 worth of parts. And I had him a picture of Abraham Lincoln engraved on a piece of linen by the U.S. Treasury Department. And he handed me this instrument and a small case. And I went home, $15 for 3 guitars heavier. That's me walking home. You know what I'm saying? I didn't really walk home. I drove home because swap meet's a while away. You know what I mean? If I lived near the swap meet, you know what I mean, I probably wouldn't even be here right now. I'd probably be waiting for the next person to show up. Anyway, I'm going to flip you around now because I've said enough. You know what I mean? You know what's happening. We're going to have to get this down somehow. I see some cracks here. I want you to see it a little bit better like I see it. So I want to flip you around. I'll put it on the slab. And we go to the lab. We're going to fix it up. I'm going to dance around. I'm going to sing. I'm going to have a good time. Right? Maybe I won't. Maybe it'll never ever get repaired. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the episode, I'll be, I'm sorry. I thought I could do it. I just can't fucking do it. It's one way or another. Yes, another match made by the cleanup guys. Thinking they're smart. Hey, I got this case from this one job and this guitar from this other job. And if I put them together, it does not fit. Ended up destroying the case. Just to, you know what I mean? Unload this for $5. Probably could have unloaded the case for $5. Unloaded this separately for $5. I put this back in here to show you, and I can't even get it out now. So let me pry this fucking thing out, and I'll see you in a second. Now we're talking. Now we're talking. The nudity of that case. Look at that. Isn't that embarrassing? Isn't that just brutal? There's still like a little bit in. Oh my god. Holy crap. The bridge is almost off. It'll be hard getting that bridge off. I don't think so. Might want to use it again though. You know what I mean? Wow. Just wow. There it is, man. This is the label, the label. Manufactured in China. This is that Pal-Ferro. You can tell Pal-Ferro's got this like sort of tan cream look when it gets all dried out. Those weird sort of whatever that is, man. Stored in somewhere where they're making like biscuits in the front. Whatever was leaning up against didn't, you know what I mean? Looks like the back. Look at that. That's another bad moment. That's when I got mad at Bill. Told me that he fucked my wife. What? Where'd that come from? So, we got our work cut out for us, really. You know what I'm saying? We really, really do. Let's go into the laboratory and just sort of see what we can do about this fucking thing. That's always such a wonderful thing to how to mitigate. These never want to come out when they're bent in there like that. Maybe they will this time. Maybe there's mercy on us. It's almost a full set of strings, too. That's just a bitch. I think the last one was the same deal. Maybe they're just putting these nice, thick sets of strings on. You know what I mean? Light gauge on all these cheap Chinese Fenders, folks. Light gauge. Another reason to detune your guitar when you're not playing it. I'll see you in the laboratory. Welcome back to the laboratory. So Fender, man, this is the beginning of our summer of plenty, right? Fender is part 1 of the summer of plenty for July, right? The Empire, right? The next episode this month is going to be about the legacy, man. This is the Empire. The next one's about the legacy. Fender is just a huge, huge, huge conglomerate, right? So, this Pal-Ferro is very, 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 you know what I mean, dry. It needs some maintenance. I think I can upcycle, recycle, decycle this, man. I just got to get these strings off. Pull these guys out either peacefully or forcefully, right? Hopefully not destroying them, but I got plenty of them. No big deal if we do. All right, so that's the first mode of operations, man. Let's loosen these guys up and try to get these strings off. You know what I'm saying? Let's do it. Ready? So oddly, there was no problem, man. Everything came out, nothing was damaged, nothing even bent, man. Well, maybe this guy's a little bent, man. Hey, man. Got bent, bro. We had no problem getting anything out with this simple little tool, man. It's a freebie tool I got from Amazon a couple of years ago, man. Freebie, man. It came out like clockwork. Now we have the sad misfortune of looking at this. Now, if you look closely, there's like a whole bunch of material that's still glued to the bottom of this bridge. I want you to see that. I want you to appreciate that. I want you to feel that. And it's being sucked away from the guitar now. We're going to have to pry that away. I have this Mr. Miyagi kit from the 50s. I really wish that I'd taken better care of this over the years. I mean, it's got these little carvers, and some of them are all chipped up. They're so sharp. So sharp. You can get a set at the Dollar Tree. They're just not as good, and it's just not as sharp. They're just not as high of a quality, but they look like the same exact thing, really. But, I mean, they're definitely not as good as these. But they're very good in doing this kind of thing, you know what I mean? Picking away little parts of bridges that are a little stubborn without making a big mess out of everything. We could also use an X-Acto knife, you know what I mean? Let's get this guy off. Hopefully without any material stuck to them. You know what I'm saying? I want the clean transfer. Clean transfer of all my goods and my title. I barely even touched it. It just sort of like, you know, I took this little knife and I just, you know what I mean? Hey, does that hurt? And it just fell right off, man. That's pretty much all the wood there. A little tiny bit at the top. You know what I mean? Just a little tiny little sliver there, see? For the most part, all the wood is still here where it should be, and that's a good thing. Now, getting this guy back into shape, it's actually going to be a little easier than it looks, although it's going to be kind of a pain in the ass. There's a X brace. See the X brace there? Man, it's a mess. Try to get a piece of wood that's exactly, you know what I mean, to fit right into that little X that comes like right across here. Then re-drill out these holes, man. We're going to have to re-drill out your holes. So what we'll do is we'll get the piece of wood all ready, and we'll take this outside. We'll dump some boiling water in there, soften it all up, and come down here when it's all soft, and we'll glue that fucking piece on. We'll fucking, you know what I mean, glue this guy like a countertop for like a week or two. In the meantime, we're going to, you know, shave this guy off too in a little bit. And we're going to dump him in some boiling water and push him down because he's a little bent. But we can use him and see how he's, you know what I mean? There's a little bendingness going on here. And we want it to be flat. We don't want to be rocking around like a rocking chair. But all of our components look like they're usable again, which is good, man. It's good, Noriega. See if we get a year decode on this, man. Year decode on this serial number reveal. Then, you know what I mean? 2.6 of a lamb's tail, right? Let's get a piece of wood all ready to go, man. And I'll see you at that point. Alright, so we did our sleuthing. We figured out this weird serial number here. This is 013, 2013. 03, the third production week of 2013. The 6,575th model. So we've had a whole bunch of them roll off the line in the year 2013. This model was introduced in 2012, so this is an elder version of that particular model. These are made out of acacia wood, and supposedly these are like some kind of man-made engineered sides. Not too sure what that means. They kind of look like wood to me, you know what I'm saying? Maybe it's just like a veneer. So we're going to be careful with the veneer work because we don't know what's going to happen. I mean, we've been dumping water into guitars, but this is like, you know what I mean, pot man, pot machine. We don't know what's going to happen. We're just going to get it real wet, right? Let it get a little bit soft. Bring it back inside. Take this guy right here, right? We're going to coat him up with wood glue. And then we're just going to put a big piece of wood on top of here. And, you know, a big He-Man clamp in there to hold this guy. Will be covered in glue. Right flush to get a big block of wood in there. This is very, very lightweight. You know, so we're not really adding any weight to the instrument. And then we'll just drill out the holes again. Right, once we put the bridge back on there. So, let's, you know, not delay on this project, man. You know what I'm saying? The heat of July has got me all heated up. So let's get this guy outside and pour some fucking water in there, man. Some boiling water, bro. I'll see you at that turn. Alright, so we're outside here. Very kind of humid and muggy out today. Hot. Definitely a summery day, man. I got a whole, see how steam coming off there. Whole bunch of water. My wife's like, what are you boiling all that water up? It's like so hot outside. We're gonna get all more humid inside the house. Here goes everything. We're gonna dump a little first. This outside piece. Ooh, this is so hot. I'm feeling it. Feeling it, man. It's kind of difficult to get this like in there without, you know what I'm saying? Where we want it to be. Not too much getting in there. Hey, man. Save the clock tower. Save the clock tower. Hey, man. Vape the clock tower, man. Vape the clock tower. What? What's going on with this, man? See what I'm doing now? I'm soaking that whole area. Boiling water. This is a standard old practice. Be real careful though. Water is very, very hot. And we don't really know what this wood is, you know what I'm saying? We don't even know what the hell this is, bro. Brosettes. The three brosettes. Little fine brosettes. That's the last of the water. Water, water, water. Rest in peace, Brian Wilson, bro. Get a glass of that cool, clean water. Sunshine. Have you ever been? Alright, so I see it's smoking out. We're going to keep it out here for a little while. Not too long. Just so it gets soft. And we're going right downstairs. We're clamping with glue, and I'll see you at that very point. That burnt. Right there. Alright, the Clamptown bass. I sing that song. Do-da, do-da. We're Clamptown real good, man. That water just softened that shit up like fucking ice cream on a hot day, man. I took one of these boxes of heavy dyes and I just sort of, after I got it flattened out in my hand, just put it on top of there and then I just clamped it real quick with these two clamps. I mean, it was literally no fuss, no muss, no nothing. These are totally flat. We got a piece of wax paper protecting, you know, the wood from the wood. You know what I'm saying, man? Wouldn't you know it? Wouldn't you know it? So let's let this set for a day or two, man. Let's dry out. You know what I'm saying? I mean, 3 days is what I'm saying, man. 3 days sounds good to me. We got this old gander. You know what I'm saying? He's a little bit wobbly, man. He's a little bit wobbled out. He's still got some schmats on him. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this guy over here, man. This is our fucking old-fashioned, you know what I'm saying? We're going to get rid of all that shit carefully, right? And then we're going to go outside and we're going to dump a whole fucking thing of water on this guy. And when it gets cool, we'll get him down here. We'll just clamp him to the end of this fucking countertop for about 2 weeks so he's totally flat. Maybe just 1 week. Who the fuck knows, man? Let's get that shit off first, and I'll see you outside when it's all been removed. Come on, friend. Come along now. So wouldn't you know it, just sanding this guy out, we got him totally flat. You know what I'm saying? It must have just been like a little bump or something. We got all that glue off because I didn't want, you know what I mean, to mess with the glue anymore. But now it's totally flat. So there's no real reason to, you know what I mean, press it. You know what I mean? Get it all wet and shit. You know, so we lucked out. So we'll put him aside. Wait a couple days on this. And I'll see you then. Alright, so it's been 3 days. We still have a lot of miles to ride in this old journey. So let's get this unclamped and see what happened. You know what I'm saying? It's all dried out, you know what I'm saying? Double dry. See the mermaid. The good news is it's nice and flat, man. We did our job in the technical department. We put this guy on. There's no real wiggle. Pretty much sits where it's supposed to sit. Bad news is after 3 days in the clamp, that glue doesn't look like it's even near being dry. Not even near being dry. So, let's put this outside. It's a fairly hot day today. Here in the Ides of July, right? July 1st, this is actually. Believe that? And let's let it set out in the sun for a little while. Let this superficially dry so we can just sand it a little bit. You know what I'm saying? We want to sand it. And then we want to glue this guy on. Doesn't really matter if it's like totally dry underneath because we're going to let it set for another couple days. Right? But I want this to be like dry enough up here that when we sand it, we don't get all kinds of glue all over the fucking place. Right? I'll see you after it's all been shit out to dry, son. Alright, so I had it out all day. And I was like, I'm going to go out to the store real quick. You know what I'm saying? While I'm out of the store, like a thunderstorm came up. I rushed back home, and it was like already raining by the time I got home. I was, motherfucker. So I dried it off, hit it up with a hair dryer. You know what I'm saying? It's a little cleaner now. It didn't really mess it up too much. You can see the water got in there a little bit, but you know, it's still a little bit wet here. But I think sitting in the sun all day sort of messed with that. The warp came back a little tiny bit. So let's tape this up and let's sand it down. You know what I'm saying? Sand it down after it's taped. Make sure it's totally flat, and then we're going to glue this guy on before too much more trauma happens. You know what I'm saying? We don't want trauma. You know what I'm saying? It looks like it. See, it wobbles a little bit now because sitting in the sun and the rain and all that shit. Feel that little hump come back, man. I don't like that shit. But we're going to press it all together with these clamps again, you know what I'm saying, and get it all straightened out, buddy. You know what I'm saying? It's still a little bit moist. You can see where the water kind of got in there. Yeah, that's life. You know what I'm saying? Can't control the fucking weather. So I'll see you when we're all taped up and sanded down a little tiny bit, right? Ready? 2, 3. All right, so it's all sanded down. It's feeling a little bit better, you know what I mean, than it was. We actually started off the task with like a little piece of 5 sandpaper, and then we moved up the grits until it was nice. You don't want this too like smooth, you know what I mean, like, because then it's gonna have nothing to sort of, you know what I mean, grasp onto really. You know, you want a little bit rough in some places. That way is, you know what I mean, it's like sticks a little bit better. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna take this tape off, and we're gonna actually mark out the edges on this side with where it should be with tape, and we're going to use this in conjunction with these. Now this is designed where you could take like screws and you can sort of stick them through these enders here and sort of screw it down itself. I've done it a couple times, but it never really sort of works out that well. It's always sort of, you know what I mean, a little bit jerked off. So I like to kind of like, you know, we're not even drilled through anyway at this point. We'd have to drill through and then, you know what I mean, deal with it. I like to sort of just use this as to, you know, hold it down. You know what I'm saying? Hold it down, Charles. And it's sort of like a best of both worlds kind of thing. So let's clamp this guy up. You know what I'm saying? We're going to need to let him set for a couple days. You know what I'm saying? And then we'll see when we're all clamped. Right? Yeah, clamper. So we're clamped. I don't know, you know what I mean? Sometimes it works out good, sometimes it doesn't. So, what we're going to do now is take this tape off, right? Because we got it down. Probably in the right place. Not, fuck it, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what I paid for this guitar, $10, whatever. Doesn't matter. So let's take this tape off, clean out that spill out. Let's see if that burnt. So you want to do that now, of course. Clean it up. Still see a little spill out coming out, but that's alright. I'm saying that's alright, Charles. I'm saying it's a sign of connection. So, you would want to take the tape off if you do it this style now, because it might glue the tape to the fucking guitar. Right? So let's us set for about a day or two. We're not going to, you know what I mean, be satisfied with just this. We're going to do something else also. Right? What? I'll see you at that print. So it's been about, I don't know, 56 hours, something like that. 57 hours. Roundabout. So let's take these clamps off and take a look at it, shan't we? Shan't we, shall? Looks great, man. It's totally flat. You know, this really, really resolved any kind of little problems that popped up from the thunderstorm out there. Everything looks good inside. There's no problems. There's no, you know what I'm saying, mess. It looks clean. I mean, I'm pretty sure, I'm 75% sure that we can just drill this out another day or two. And then give it another 2 or 3 days to dry. A week, you know, something like that. And then we could string it up. And we'll never have another problem again, man. We can fucking sing Sweet Home Alabama on the porch with old Duke the dog at our side. If we fucking like dogs, man. You know what I'm saying? There's two kind of people in the world, you know what I'm saying? People who like dogs and people who don't. So, I'm not going to talk about that right now. I want to talk about this. Right? Will it hold? What about that 25% chance that it won't? We're wasting our time here, right? Yeah, I'm giving you some false information. So what we're going to do, we're going to go a step further, man. We're going to drill out a hole here and drill out a hole here. And we're just going to put some screws in there. And we're going to put some washers on the back there. And we're going to put some nuts on the back of the washers. And we're going to just, you know what I'm saying? C'est la vie, c'est la old folks, right? Gonna come right at you after we got the glue, this hold up, you know what I mean? And we found the right screws we're gonna use. I'll explain the whole process as we're gonna do it, right? That's the right way to think. I'll see you at that pernet. So we got the little holes drilled out. I would never really do this on a valuable guitar, but face it, this guitar has been in, you know what I mean, issue now for 13 years. I don't think it's ever retailed for over $100. It's the bottom of the barrel. So, you know, I mean, we'd rather keep it functional than keep it pretty, right? If anybody wants to keep it pretty in the future, they can just take these screws out and put some putty in there and nobody will ever know. So we just got to drive some screws in there. We're not going to put any kind of machine screws in there. The reason being is this one goes right through one of the cross V's and this one goes through the other one. So, I mean, it's going to go all the way through. You know what I mean? Actual brace in here, and I don't see this thing pulling up with a brace on it and everything. So let's just put these wood screws in there, dust it off a little bit, and bring it back over to the drill press and get these guys all fucking, you know what I'm saying, opened up again, man. And to do that, we're going to take one of these guys, put it through one of these guys, find out the right one. Find one of these guys and drill it out. And I'll see you at that point, right? Break on through to the other side. Break on through. Oh! Look at that, man. It's all drilled out. Wanted to put it on the drill press. But I could not put it on the drill press because this guitar was just too big, man. It's a dreadnought size, man. It's not like a little guy. I was thinking I have a big drill press out in the garage, but I was like, you know what? Let's just risk it with the old DeWalt and the old Brad Point, man. Brad Point bit 3/16, I believe, wasn't it? Yes, 3/16. Like $1.59. There's still a deal somewhere. And wiped off all the shit. And I got all the stuff inside. Out with a little masking tape ball, man. Lo-fi, man. Lo-fi. I actually drilled the holes for some new plugs that we have here, because these guys are a little bit bigger, a little bit cleaner than these guys, and one of these is bent. This guy's a little bent, so I got a whole, you know what I mean, new saddle pin bag here, so they're slightly, you know what I mean, slightly more widthy. So that's what we drilled it out for. I just wanted you to know, man. I know into the detail. Nobody will be able to tell them apart, because I mean they look aesthetically pretty much the same. So there it is, man. We're all drilled out. We're ready to rock and roll. We got our bridge pins ready to rock for us. This is dry as a fucking bone, man. There's absolutely no wear on these frets at all. I mean, maybe a couple little lines here, but there's no need for a fret job. Let's just take a little piece of steel wool and get some, you know, mineral oil in here. Get some color back. Let's put some mineral oil on this guy. Now that he's all stripped down like a motherfucking gimp. You know what I'm saying? I'll see you at that fine print. One fine print. You look at me and you will know. It's Pal Ferro or whatever they use on this. I mean, these don't get really dark. You know, so it's not like rosewood. This happens to be some kind of like Indian rosewood, actually, because it got real dark. You know what I'm saying? This is like the difference of the two woods. This one really needed it, though. Although it's not going to look like it needed it, it needed it. They both needed it, man. You need me. Right? So we'll let that seep in there. Maybe a little longer than usual. You know what I'm saying? Until it's looking like it's diminished. Sometimes it doesn't even look diminished with these highly processed guitars. Sometimes it looks like, you know, it's like pooling up still. And it's not soaked in at all. But it's going to soak in a little bit, right? I'll see you after an hour has elapsed or more. Ready, set, go. Alright, man, I'm not gonna lie, it's the 4th of July. I got caught in some stuff. Let it go like 2-3 hours. Mostly all the oil is absorbed on the Faro fretboard. I mean, you barely even see there was any oil on there. And on the time, it'd probably take another 2 or 3 coats. This you can tell is still like a little bit. Wipe me off, motherfucker. So let's wipe them both off and take a good lurk at what we see. Right? Yeah, looks like a brand new fucking guitar, man. So I wiped it off real nice. Let it sit overnight. Because it was still like, you know what I mean? It's like greasy, like, you know what I'm saying? Sensation, because it's been greasy for so long. Now it's nice and dry. Everything's ungreased. Let's put this guy on all the rosewood. Bang. Bang. Let's put this guy everywhere else. It's called the Sheen Shine process. Let's do it now. So I gotta halt these waxing proceedings because I remember when I'm looking over here, that incident with Bill. When I found out they fucked my wife. Now I found out I was down at the Elks Club and Jimbo was saying that old Bill was running his mouth about having fucked my wife. And actually had taken some kind of photograph for evidence, put it on the internet networks. And I was the last one known about it. So I'm not down with remembering about Bill. I want to change that out. I got some furniture markers. We're going to work some of this in along with the wax. Wait till it's dry. Wax it. Put a little bit on there while we're waxing it. It's called working it in. Wendell. I don't want to remember them times with Bill. He was not my friend anymore. Just the half-ass shit. You know what I'm saying? Look at that. Actually took a little sanding block, right? And I went up and down the sides here and took like a piece of denim and follow that up. You know, not to be too professional about it, but not to be too destructive either. Right? You know what I mean? Looking good, man. Feeling good. You can barely see any problems. There's some little bashes up here that sort of just got sort of covered over with wax. I was mad hot at Bill, having known he'd violated my wife. Yeah, man. It's gone for the most part, but in my heart I know. I always knowed he'd want to fuck her. He was shifty, Bill. He was. He wanted to dick him all. So, we got some finishing up to do, man. Not enough to sort of be, oh, I'll do this. Oh, I'll do that. We're going to do the glamour shots. And first, we're going to put this in. Right? What is that? That's our saddle. For our slots, son. And then we're going to investigate a pair of these. Yes, I'm going to use a pair of gold coppers, man. Coppers, man. It's like fool's gold. It's a very, very Chinese sound, man. And we're going to hold them in with these old fucking girls, man. Brand new ones, a little bit bigger, a little bit stronger. I'll see you at the glamour shots. The Empire is happy with this video for the most part. The Empire is pleased with this video. You've served your master well. These two little dots here, that's actually for me, man, trying to get this thing into the fucking drill press, man. That was like little Brad Point tops, man. Like, oh no, oh no. I banged it in twice. Uh-oh. These Chinese strings, you buy in mass, very light tension. Extremely light tension. Sometimes you'll just have like a whole bunch of little E strings in there, man. I swear, man, I got one that had only 3 wrapped in it one time. And 3, like, you know what I mean, 0.10, you know, strings. 10s, man, as they call them in the biz, man. 10s. The Empire enjoys manufacturing overseas. It looks great, though, you know what I'm saying? We still got the little stickers on those fucking phony shower times, man. There's some dirt and dust on it, Guitkit. I'm not pleased with that. Otherwise, the Empire is pleased with everything else. So, what can I say, man? You know what I'm saying? Everything looks good. We're totally down in the back, flat, right? We're down in the front. We don't have a big hump up here, you know, like we did. You know what I'm saying? It looks great. Does it sound great? Well, it sounds like a $99 guitar. You know what I'm saying? Is that great? Well, some people will say it's great. Some people will say, not really. You know what I'm saying? It sounds like, you know what I mean, one of those guitars. So I'm going to play it for you so you can make your own determination. Right? You can determine the nation in any denomination, any factation, whatever kind of situation, right? And then we'll say, peace be with you. And then we'll say, look after yourself. And then we'll say again, peace be with you. And then we'll say again, look after yourself. And there it is, man. Fender FA-100. This is part 1 of our Summer of Plenty. This is the Empire, man. The next time we get together, we're going to talk about the heritage, man. Trust fund, man. The Empire is the house you sleep in, right? The heritage is that little rag doll you've been sleeping with since birth. You know what I'm saying? They're both equally important, but important in a different way, right? Saying when Ray Kroc got a McDonald's hamburger, he wasn't talking about, ooh, I love the taste of those little onions. Oh, that beautiful milkshake was so creamy. He was thinking like, I can make a lot of fucking money with this. Just like our man Leo Fender when he's like, ooh. You know what I mean? I like that sustain. No, he's thinking, I like the idea of all the money in my pocket, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? That's why Fender is the Empire, man. That's why Fender has made good and keep on making good, man. It just keeps getting bigger and bigger. You know, they haven't been afraid to let other people copy them. They haven't been suing every mother and their landlord over something that kind of looks like a Fender. They just been going with the flow, man, making money themselves. So it sounds pretty good. It sounds like pretty much any sort of guitar from the Orient of this nature. When I first put the strings on, I had a horrible back bow. I was, huh? Remember, back bow to the left. Luckily, the truss rod worked for the most part. Sometimes I'll hear a little bit of scratchy stuff, you know, because of the terrible back bow, but I don't want to go any further because the action's like butter right now. I don't want to fuck that up. I don't see any movement back here, man. Looks like we're placed down well. Looks like it's going to stay where it is. And if it doesn't, at least it did for this time we had together, right? Which is a good thing. So, I mean, what does it sound like? Well, it sounds like this. So those people who know me, man, know that I'm a huge fan of Brian Wilson, the Beach Boys, man. Shortly after I prepared my last episode for you all, Brian Wilson died, man. I'm heartbroken all month. I've been thinking about him. You know what I mean? Thinking about the times I saw him, thinking about the times that I, you know what I mean, thought about him. Thinking about what he meant to me, you know what I mean? And Brian Wilson was the type of person that he skirted, you know what I mean, the heritage and the Empire perfectly. And he dealt with, like, you know what I mean, the crazy family situation. And he dealt with the crazy sort of money situation. He dealt with the crazy world situation. And he still was able to make product that changed the world and changed his own world. And let him, you know what I mean, be Brian Wilson's entire life, you know what I mean, without having to really work that hard. Which is great, man. When I actually had an opportunity to talk to Brian, it was the year 2000, I believe. There was a magazine, I believe it was called Uncut Magazine, and he did an interview with Uncut Magazine, and it says, why don't you, email in some questions for Brian if you have them, and Brian will, answer these questions, we can only select a couple of them. They selected mine, too. I asked him, I said, how does it feel to be Brian Wilson? It was kind of a weird question, and Brian probably, ooh. They asked him, that was the last question they asked out of like these 10 or 15 other questions they selected. I probably like 200-300 of them, And he's like, oh, it's an honor to be Brian Wilson. I mean, I love performing for people and watching people, react and smile, I'm truly blessed, he said. All right, Brian, and this is from a guy who never liked to perform. To say that's pretty cool, man. So, if you're like a real versed Beach Boys fan, and not just somebody who knows a couple of their songs off their radio, man, Brian Wilson wrote a whole bunch of songs in the mid-'70s for an album called Love You. And Mike Love recorded some demos. He used to walk around with this little like boombox. You can watch these old Beach Boys documentaries from like the early 80s, late 70s. And you see Mike walk around with his little tape deck. And he like recorded Brian Wilson demo and all these great songs like The Night Was So Young, Still I Dream of It. A couple other great songs, And like you could hear Mike like giving them commentaries between each song. And during this particular song, Mike was like, whoa, once the bridge hit, he's like, that song is a motherfucker. And he just started you could hear Mike Love in the background, just in ecstasy, just hearing the song. Now when he recorded it, it didn't really sound that great. I think he had Dennis singing like, the verses, and Carl singing the chorus, and Brian was singing like stuff with Dennis. This wasn't that good, man, but it could have been good, man. I bet he's nice. I bet he's twice as nice as me, and it makes me cry, 'cause I remember you and I. Please don't tell me if it's true, because I'm still in love with you, pretty darling, you pretty darling, you pretty darling, you my pretty darling. Baby, don't you ever tell me that you're leaving, now that you got me to believe it. You are the sunshine and the flowers. Come on, baby, make my only hour. I bet he's nice. Hey, man, Brian Wilson, I love you, man. I miss you every day. I probably miss you every day for a long time until I sort of, get my sort of bearing on things. But that might be a long time from now. Or somebody else important might die, right after this shit, and I'll be like, oh, I was really affected by that, But anyway, peace be with you. Next time we meet, we're going to talk about our heritage, man. Later this month, right? We're doing two this month, 2 in August, right? Hopefully we'll make it that long. You think we're going to make it? Make it. Make it. Make it. Make it. Make it. Make it. Make it.